Hi there, it's Diane, and we're on day 2 of Reinvent Your Career 30-Day Challenge. So we're using this time that we're all on we're using this time that we're all on lockdown and in quarantine to do something proactive to build our careers, and that is to do an assessment and to get really ready, for our future when the world comes back to functioning as it will at some time in the future. And I'm very optimistic that within a few months we will see things going back to normal, a new normal. They won't be the old normal, but we need to be ready, and we can use this time that many people are saying they're bored silly. We can use this time to do something proactively to enhance our career. So when hiring does start again, when new opportunities present themselves, maybe you lose a job, maybe a recruiter comes to you. You want to be absolutely ready to take advantage of it so you can thrive in whatever this new work economy is, because it's going to be different than it was in the past. So today is day 2, and our module is it all starts with the resume. And the very first thing you need to do in building your career is to start working on a resume. And we talked yesterday about the hiring funnel and how it has changed and how there are 4 different screening processes that your resume will go to before you have a chance of getting the job. And so when you understand that, then the way we make the resume makes a lot more sense. If you don't understand it, it doesn't make sense. And we were taught years ago, the system wasn't in place. So the first thing, you upload your resume, it's going to go through an applicant tracking system, which I call a resume reading robot. And a human being is not involved in it. It is a keyword match in which you are asked that the computer finds all the words that are listed on this secret algorithm by the employer, and it highlights them, and then it gives them a grade or a rating or a number, and that is used to eliminate 3/4 of the resumes. So you have to make sure that your resume is built with all the keywords in it that's going to get through that gauntlet. The second step is an online recruiter is going to spend 7.7 seconds quickly scanning a resume, trying to pick out the 4 key pieces of information. Titles that you've had, employer names, dates, and your education. So he needs to just scan real quickly. So you need to have everything at the top half of the front page of your resume so that in that 7.7 seconds he can see every piece of information that's critical, because he's not going to get to the back of the page, he's not going to get to the bottom of the first page, not in 7.7 seconds. You have to spoon feed it to him in a well-organized section. And to do that, I suggest that you make a summary of credentials, and everybody does their summary of credentials wrong. They put all sorts of soft skills. Your summary of credentials is hard skills, degrees, education, certifications, specific skill sets you have, maybe names of prestigious employers, hard data that when that online recruiters check, oh yeah, has the MBA, okay, has the certificate, up, okay, yeah, this person meets my criteria, and he puts that in the look again file versus the throw out and never be seen again file. The third part is in HR. They're going to review the resume, and they're going to do maybe a phone call. They're going to be looking for things like formatting, spelling. Are there any typos or spelling? How do you present yourself? Are you persuasive? Do you have the credentials? Do you have some of the soft skills maybe that they want? And then they're going to select between 5 and 7, 10 max of that whole 100 that started out. They're going to choose just a few percentages, and they're going to send that to the hiring manager, and then he's going to be looking at it. So it's really important that you restructure your resume from the way you had it in the past, so you have what I call above the fold resume. And what that means is nobody buys a newspaper ever anymore, but they never did for what's on the back page. They don't buy it for what's on the bottom of the first page. They want that headline, that top half of the page is what you're going to sell. So all this key information has to be in the top half of the first page of your resume. So I like to start with a career objective, which is not your career objective, it's the employer's career objective. It's saying, I have these skills, 1, 2, 3, 4, that assure you, Mr. Employer XYZ, that I can do the job which you have said is this, which means you're going to result in that. So it's very much talking to the employer and not talking about, in the past I did this and this and this and this for other employees. No, this is what I can do for you and how I can assure you that I can do it. The second part is a summary of credentials, and this should have 8, 10, 12, whatever, a 2-column bulleted list, very concise, degrees, certifications, key attributes that you have, perhaps names of prestigious employers, any awards you've received, any certifications, if you've got patents or publications, anything, the hard data, if you've got training skills, very specific hard skills that are going to match that job requirement, and so you list them in a very brief bulleted form. If I work with people who have like technical skills, people in sales, and I add another summary below that, which is key clients, that you can name drop the key clients in the industry. From working with somebody who's a software programmer, it might be key technology platforms that you've used, things like that. So you may add a second summary that's very specific. I just did one for a nurse, and it's, what are the specific nursing skills that you have, and what are the nursing technology platforms that you have used, so that if somebody's checking out, yes, I need someone who does QuickBooks. Yep, QuickBooks is there, whatever it is, so that you have that summary of technical skills, so you can add a second summary of a specific criteria if you want that. And then you do the employment section, which is your employment history, and everybody does it wrong. Everybody does it wrong. Trust me, everybody talks about tasks, roles, and responsibilities. I did this, and this. And then it's wrong because you need to talk about achievements, what you accomplished in that role. And to do that, I write a one-sentence summary of the title, what you did for this company, to define the company. For example, I was just doing a resume right now for a nurse. She worked at a prestigious children's hospital. You led the NICU for a 700 bed hospital. That's a leader in this industry, or you define the company, because a lot of people don't know what the company is you were employed for and what they do and how prestigious it is. So you talk about a little bit about your role and kind of key responsibilities in a 1-second kind of overview, kind of situating the reader in, I had this kind of a role in this company, and these are my key tasks and responsibilities. And then you do a bulleted list of 3 to 5 key achievements. And those achievements are quantified with a number, a dollar, or a percentage sign. And so when you look at your regular resume, you say, I implemented this program, and ask yourself, so what? What does it mean? What did it achieve? I implemented a new software program called XYZ. Okay, what did it do? Well, it reduced turnaround time in processing payroll by 15%. Saved 15% is what matters, right? Not the fact that you had these activities. So it's really important that you keep asking yourself when you're defining what you've done is, so what? And try and use that to hone down to quantify your skills and quantify what you achieved in that role. And then, of course, your next section is the education section. If you're a new or younger worker, maybe education is up top. If you have a profession that requires a certain certification, you're a principal or an administrator, or you have something that requires a degree, you're a doctor or a pharmacist, then maybe you'll put that degree, that education at the top. But most people who have built a 10 or 15-year career, the employment is more important than the education, unless it's a legal requirement for the job, like a CPA. Okay, I have a degree in master's degree in finance and accounting. That's important, okay? But then with your employers, then you're going to list that your education section generally comes at the end, and you're going to talk about first the degree that you got, the school, and then the year you graduated. And I like to add a lot more texture. What was your GPA? Did you have a leadership role? Did you attend school while you were working full time? Were you president of an organization? What things did you lead? Did you get? Were you Phi Beta Kappa? Were you on the dean's list? Quantify your education as much as possible, so that people will be able to add texture. Because when I'm looking at education, it's the degree, but what you did in college probably tells me a lot about your work value, your ethics, how hard work and dedicated you are. So if you can flesh out that education section a little bit, that's really important. And then you can add other information. If you're a foreign national, or if you have a foreign sounding name, you should definitely put your immigration or your legal status, a U.S. citizen, or I'm a U.S. resident with a green card. That's important. You can also add special areas which talk about in part of education, you can leave just degrees, or you can also add certifications. So I would do the formal degrees at the top, and then I have a PMP certification. I have this kind of a certification. These are my credentials. And today, skills and credentials are often a lot more important than the college degrees, except for those that are legally mandated that you have a degree. So showing that you are in a lifelong learning and that you're gaining new certifiable skills is really important, so you can link that. I had a client who had 11 patents. Well, list those patents. That's really impressive. If you have articles that you have written or have been published about you, or if you have like a peer review journal article, list that in that extra section, so that you can be successful. So all this is going to be explained inside the course. So this is kind of just an overview, but I want you to go inside the course, Reinvent Your Career 30 days in 30days.com. It's the challenge. And in the membership area, I have 3 gifts for you. The first is a video from my resume writing course, which is Build Your Above the Fold Resume, okay? And it shows you a lot of more background on how to build the resume and the thinking behind it and how people view it and what it goes through the employer's head. So it's very important. And then I have a presentation that I gave at the Grad Career Fest, which was an online learning experience for new college grads, and it's how to write the perfect resume. And so it walks you through in a PowerPoint program, step by step, what you need to be doing. And then there is a link to a resume builder cheat sheet, which is a 2-page downloadable file, and that will give you an understanding of the hiring funnel that we talked about, and also then an example of what a good above the fold resume should be, and what are the 6 key sections of your resume and what they should kind of look like. So I encourage you, we're day 2, go in the course. If you missed day 1, hey, it's in there, so you can just click on that before you go to day 2. Day 3 will be unlocked tomorrow. So every day there'll be a new little mini lesson just like this in 10-15 minutes, and it can change your career. And I encourage you to go through these modules and start writing your above the fold resume. Dust off that resume and see if it meets that criteria. See if someone only has 7.7 seconds, give it to someone and time 7 seconds and ask them what they learned from it. And it's really, really important that you revise your documents, that you hone your skills. Take this time to rebuild your career. And the first place is starting, because it's all about the resume. Thanks so much for joining me. This is Diane Huth, the Accidental Career Coach, and I'll see you inside the course. Go to Reinvent Your Career in 30days.com to register for the 30-day challenge. It's completely free. There's no charge. It's all a gift to you. So go and do that, and then I'll see you inside the course. We will have 30 modules, one every day for 30 days. Each one will, every day there will be a new module released and open that you can see it, with a lesson, learnings, and lots of gifts that I've got there to give you to help in your job search. Take care. See you inside the course.